in this video I show if anyone show issues while installing while updating your Mac OS 13 to 14, then maybe if maybe you can face some error in Workbench. So how you can remove or rid from this error? First you will need to, according to me, first if you try all methods and still the error is in your Mac, then first you uninstall all MySQL and Workbench completely from macOS and then try. And if it still exists, then maybe it's related to MySQL or Workbench compatibility. So waits until a new version is updated regarding to Mac OS 14. Otherwise you can try. Here I use phpMyAdmin, but again I reinstall MySQL and Workbench. So for installing Workbench, first you need to install MySQL Server, the website where you can go and download DMG file. If your Mac OS is M1, then you can choose DMG, and if your OS is Intel based, processor is Intel based, then you can choose. Here you can see the my Mac OS is 14. Recently I updated my OS. If you using for personal use, then I think if still if the error exists in Workbench, then you can use phpMyAdmin, and otherwise you can try this. So MySQL server is installed in DMG file as DMG file, and I open the folder. Here it is. And after download, double click and allow the permission and simply do next or continue. This is the destination. Ask where you want to install. Give your Mac password or system password. It's asked password related to MySQL server. So give a password. I simply give password as password, PASSWORD, and again give your system password and close. And after installing or opening the MySQL server, if you get this pop-up, then simply give access by Mac, and then simply first here check that my MySQL server is running. And if you using my phpMyAdmin and side by side MySQL server, then at one time you can run only one server, or MySQL or phpMyAdmin. So for if your MySQL server is running, then you can't use phpMyAdmin. If you want to use phpMyAdmin, then first you stop your MySQL server. Here I show that if I run my phpMyAdmin, then it show me some error. Apache Web Server and Pro FTPD is running, but MySQL database is not running because MySQL Server and phpMyAdmin MySQL database has used same port number. So both of them are collapsed to each other. Fight there for port number. Now you can check that MySQL database is stopped, but two of them is running because of port number uses MySQL Server and MySQL database are both same. And after installing MySQL Server, then you can install MySQL Workbench. Uh, if you see, or after installing Workbench, then you can uh, check a message related to system compatibility. Means maybe some devices it not work. Here check that my PHP is not working, because in backend my MySQL server is running. For small project and personal use, PHP is best and easy to use. But you are working on large or big project, then MySQL is best for that project. So first I stop the MySQL server and then start my PHP MySQL database. And if after installing, if you can't access MySQL from terminal, then first you need to give path. I already give this path, and I make a video how to give path to the MySQL in MySQL installation part. So there you can check how to give path in macOS. Then you can see here my MySQL server is stopped. Looking start to, now you can check MySQL is, I can access MySQL from terminal. So this is the first step for installing Workbench. You need to install first MySQL server. Currently I'm using currently in my system I have MySQL server and as well as PHP and now I'm installing MySQL Workbench. You can go by website tab.mysql.com, download and Workbench. Here you select macOS ARM based. Now I think it's almost download. Yes, downloaded, and simply do drag and drop, and after completing this you can access in application. Here if you see this type of pop-up, then you can simply give access. I have already give access to the app store, and this is the Workbench that I started. And if you want to give access, then how? Simply click on top Mac UI, then system, and after that privacy and security. Here in security you can access app store, allow application downloaded from. And if I again open and run local instance, for personal use, I prefer to phpMyAdmin because it's easy to use. Here my MySQL server is running, and you can open. This is the different options provided by the MySQL Workbench, and you can open. Here you can check this incompatibility version. Maybe 6 months or after 1 year, for Mac 14 OS, MySQL Workbench compatibility may be available. Till now, you can use side by side phpMyAdmin. Thank you. And yeah, here I give the already make a video how to give path to the MySQL server. This is the playlist. Okay, thank you.